Welcome back to the Headspace and Tasting Podcast, where we talk manhood, tell stories, and discuss the stuff that matters to us, one sip at a time. I was trying to pull that. I actually messed it up, I think, didn't I?
You did.
Welcome to the Headspace and Tasting Podcast, where we tell stories, talk manhood, and discuss the stuff that matters to us, one sip at a time. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Matt. You're terrible.
That was bad.
It was.
Very unprofessional.
Was terrible.
I didn't earn my paycheck with that one.
Yeah, you suck.
Oh, man. That kind of goes into what we're going to talk about today, doesn't it? You telling me I suck and being mad at me for messing up the intro?
You do. You shouldn't have messed it up. Well, you shouldn't have lost the form.
You lost it. You had it last week.
I didn't lose it.
Sir.
You lost it.
Nothing.
It's
moved.
your house.
Yeah. It sat right here the whole time.
Your dog ate it.
Probably.
Good
Typical
job,
excuse.
Matt. Yeah.
Well,
I got to question my partnership with you.
why the heck is it 80 degrees outside?
Because it's beautiful.
This sucks.
And we deserved it.
I guess.
I've been outside half the day, just sitting out back.
I think I got a sunburn today.
Nice little breeze.
I was standing outside all morning till noon.
Hanging out with the dog.
Cool.
Yeah.
No fire pit today, though, huh?
Oh, I'm out of wood.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to have some more for you.
You know, so can't do any.
I'm not making the same mistake with that tree out front I did with the last one. I told him, take it away. Haul it off. I'm not keeping any.
There you
I'll
go.
buy my own firewood.
There you go.
I'm not chopping any wood. I can't take it. You brought the bourbon for today.
I did.
And I really appreciate it. It's very good. It is a beautiful amber color. Is that amber?
I would say so.
Caramel? Amber? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of red.
It's on the kind of on the lowish end.
Yeah.
But why would it be red?
Why?
Hmm.
Explain.
Well, this is the Redemption Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in cognac casks. This particular bottle is from 2022. It goes for about $70, $77, depending on where you go.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the Bardstown Bottling Company out of Kentucky, but they don't do the bourbon themselves. It comes straight from a distiller in Indiana, just like all these others. Is MGP, I think, is what it is. So they must have something going. They just make it and
They grow the good corn there.
let everybody else bottle it, you know.
Yeah.
So they took this. It's a high rye.
Obviously. Redemption's known for their rye. That's what their main
Yes.
product is, right?
High rye. High rye. It's a high rye bourbon whiskey. It's 60% corn, 36% rye, 4% malted barley.
Wow. I'm surprised that's all for malted barley, though, because it has a pretty good malt taste to me.
Did it? Yeah. 99 proof.
99 proof. But,
And
woof, man, it tastes way higher than that to
right,
me.
we don't know and I think that's the rye out of it, the spiciness, but we
Yeah.
don't know the age.
No. But by
But
looking
we-
at the glass, it's fairly young.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I do know for sure is that it is finished in cognac barrels for 12 months. That's the only part I know.
I've never tasted cognac before, but I would imagine from tasting this, cognac is probably really sweet and tannic and fruity and
All the above.
high alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Hmm?
It's all the above, and people will get confused because sometimes it comes across as a high peat kind of
Oh, really?
alcohol, but there's no peat whatsoever. It's just what people
Interesting.
are confusing
I
themselves
guess that comes from the skin.
with the rye
This
or the wine.
the wine, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I smelled this, rye, caramel, dark fruit came out, like old grapes, dark red grapes, I guess it would be. It was a little confused, like you said. It was a little confusing when I was smelling. I was like, "What am I smelling? What is this?" And then, it's aged in cognac barrels, so that's the grapiness coming out. I think is what it was. Dark fruits. What did you smell?
Very similar to yours. In addition to that, I would have got just an added bit of clove.
Clove.
But all your other descriptions were the same as mine.
Mm.
And as far as the taste, vanilla, certainly peachy and oaky, and it's also some flavor of Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, the first word I wrote down on taste was hot.
Yeah.
Like those cinnamon red hot candies type of heat, you know.
But without the cinnamon.
Yeah, without the cinnamon, like the way it burns your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I put very rye forward. You can taste the rye, obviously. And I got a little bit of coffee, and to me, it's very tannic. Like it dries my mouth out, makes my mouth water. Then, like it gets dry, and then my mouth will be full of slobber.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where we're crossing lines. You're getting the coffee. I'm getting the cola.
Yeah.
So those two run very close together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. On the finish, I just put mouth-watering tongue burn. It's a mouth-watering tongue burn is what I get on the finish. But
that's funny.
The same flavors as I tasted kind of linger on the roof of my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, it's certainly woody on the finish.
Yeah.
And it does coat my tongue. I don't know that it lingers very long with me. But I have noticed that the longer we're going as we drink it and it settles out here sitting in the glass, that the heat or the spiciness does kind of mellow out a little bit.
Yeah, it gets sweeter as it sits in the glass to me.
Yeah.
But
so if you don't like real spicy, but you want to try something good, pour it and let it sit there for 10 minutes before you give it a shot.
Yeah, and like we were talking, this would be good. I think rye is in a Manhattan, but this, if you wanted to substitute this, it would stand up pretty good. Or an old fashioned, this would probably be a good one.
Yeah, high rye old fashioned.
Yeah.
It's not unusual for people to do that occasionally.
I wonder if the spiciness of this would cut through that sugar cube sweetness.
Well, I think it would mellow it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll do a cocktail show one day.
We could.
Nice. We did the French 75 show, which was a fun one. So what's our topic for today? I kind of mentioned it a little bit. Anger, and what else we got on the list here?
Oh, just being mad and bitter, holding a grudge,
harboring resentment.
Yeah. I think it's something worth talking about because we all deal with it, and men will handle it in so many different ways, and some of it can be dangerous and toxic.
Absolutely.
Depending on how you react to it.
Physically dangerous, like violence. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So it's something worth noting, and there's things that happen to me, and I've had to spend some time really paying attention to what I do and calling myself out on it.
Yeah.
To where, I mentioned it before, I'm notorious for the microburst of anger. And, you get the bad phone call, or someone says something that doesn't go your way, or something falls apart. And it's usually work related. I usually don't react this way at home.
Oh, okay.
And something just throws a whole kink in your entire day.
Yeah.
And
I'm like the opposite. For me, it's at home, but at work, I'm...
Gotcha. I mean, I've been known to throw pens against desks so hard they snap in two.
Yeah, I had to apologize to my wife last night for, she said something to me. I took it as disrespectful, and I lashed out and snapped at her. And the more I think about it, it's like, no, dude, that's a you problem. Not like you received the message incorrectly and responded out of anger. And I had to apologize for snap. I was like, I feel convicted about that stuff almost immediately, thankfully.
Yeah. It could be a struggle.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle for me all my life.
My tongue
in different ways.
I feel like those things go from my brain to my tongue and out before I have a chance to actually process what I'm about to say.
Yes. And the bitterness will jump in real quick, or to where you hold a grudge even after an event.
Yeah.
We're all familiar with that. We've all done it.
Sure.
Where something bad happens and we just say to ourselves, I'm never talking to that dude again. Or, you know, I'm never going to get involved with that group again.
Yeah.
Or don't ever talk to me again about asking for help. Or you just went behind my back after I told you some information.
Yeah.
That maybe I shouldn't have shared with you, but that didn't give you leave to go repeat it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people probably feel that way about me, that they were like, man, I'm never talking to that guy again. He's an asshole. And they're not wrong most of the time.
Right. And, you know, I mean, I was really mad yesterday and with some stuff that was going on during the day. And then it just kept building and building. And my problem is I just kept talking about it in my head. Like, how am I going to respond when I see this person? How am I going to, what kind of arguments in my head am I already building?
Yeah.
So when I have this conversation, I'm ready to just attack.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, and the more I did it, the more I am being distracted about what's going on around me.
Mm-hmm.
And the more worked up I'm getting, I find myself driving a little bit more aggressive.
Okay.
So that's where, you know, my mind, my body's taking vent of my anger and keeps building up on it until something happens in your head or around you that realizes, oh, I better take a step back. Why am I doing what am I doing?
Yeah.
And calm down. And, you know,
I'm sure people exist that can head that off before it happens, but I don't know if I've ever met one. You know, who could see like, oh, there's a storm brewing in my brain right now. I better go take a walk and take a few breaths, and like to do it consistently.
Right. Not without training or being self-taught and learn it in some way.
Yeah. And I, you know, really, like, I'm 46 years old now, and I can't imagine, like, if I try to think back to when I was a younger person, a younger man, how did I survive? How did I not just go on rampages? But even now, like, I still have those young man, what I call them, like a young man's outburst of anger, where I'm like, dude, you're a grown man. Why are you acting like a child still?
Right.
It's crazy. So
yeah, because especially, again, we've mentioned it about how someone cuts you off on the highway and you get all pissed off. And the guy in front of you has no idea that he just did what he did. He's still singing his tunes while he's driving and all happy.
Right.
And we're dwelling on it for the next 35, 40 seconds. Your blood pressure does an immediate jump before it comes back down.
Yeah. So are these things that make us so angry, are they real or just perceived slights? Or
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of both.
Okay.
So I'll back up a little bit. So because of some of the stuff that was going on, and again, I couldn't sleep. I mean, I slept fine, but then I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. And, you know, I could have just laid there in bed moaning around and tried to fall back asleep, but I knew I wasn't going back to sleep. So I got up, went downstairs, hung out for a little bit, and did some reading. And, you know, I come across Proverbs 29:11. The fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise man keeps himself under control.
Wow.
Okay, so I was a fool yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, even if no one around me experienced what I was feeling,
Right.
I'm still a fool because I'm still, at least to myself, I'm giving full vent to my anger.
Yeah.
And I'm not being wise about it. And I can remember there was a time when Gail and I were first married in our early newlywed days, first few years. And I remember we would get in arguments and things like that. And I distinctly remember one specific event in which her and I were arguing back and forth, and she's yelling, and I'm not. And she's getting mad at me for not yelling back at her.
Yes.
And I said, and she's asking me why, or yelling at me why. And I said, I'm not going to. I was raised in a home where my mom and dad yelled at each other all the time. It was always a screaming match.
Yeah.
And I refused to carry that on. I wasn't going to do that. I recognized that early. I was like, there ain't no way. And, you know, we calmed down and we ended up talking a little bit. And, you know, Gail was very open, and she said, you know, I always thought that a good relationship, this is what the couples are supposed to do.
Oh.
They're supposed to yell at each other because that's how I always interpreted relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, well, that's not going to work out here. I've seen my dad do full vent as well. And see, I think this is where I learned a lot about what not to do with anger.
Uh-huh.
I remember one time my dad getting so mad in an argument in which he punched the wall of the house, but it was near the corner.
Ooh.
And he missed the wall and hit the corner where he broke his hand. Yeah. And then there was another time in which I literally saved my dad's life, in which he worked nights his whole career, and I'm 12, and he's in bed trying to sleep, and my mom goes in there and turns on the light by accident. They get in a big argument, and then she goes to leave, and he yells at her, turn off the light. And she yells back, you turn it off yourself. And he goes, I'll turn off that light. And he threw a bunch of other words in there. But he got up on the bed, and as a kid, our house had those old glass dome light covers. Yeah. But they weren't domes. They were just a cover with glass. Uh-huh. And he reached up and grabbed it and ripped it out of the ceiling. Well, when he did it, the glass broke, and it went right through his left wrist.
Dude.
And he is pumping blood. He went right through the artery. And, you know, I happened to be there. I don't know how a 12-year-old kid can figure it out, but I immediately ripped the shoelace out of my shoe and grabbed a pen and put a tourniquet on his left arm and able to keep the blood down till the ambulance showed up. And, you know, he's also holding his wrist. Yeah. And, you know, it was like a pig was slaughtered in that bedroom.
Oh, man.
And, you know, so I've seen the wild sides of anger.
Yeah.
And I'm going, why do I want to do that? So my anger over years has always been more pent up. I'm going to have that rage inside of me. And I might do a quick burst and go, but then it just sticks with me. And, you know, what do you do with it?
Yeah, what do? You got to let it out somehow. Right. In a healthy manner, right?
Right.
That you're not going to have any, catastrophic event like cutting your wrist open, or, you know, the words really hurt and they mean something. And when you say a hurtful thing to somebody you love, it really wounds them. Mm-hmm. So how do you deal with it in a healthy manner? Like, I guess the thing that I'm wanting to learn too is to see when those clouds are forming. You know, like, oh, I'm feeling this way, and I know eventually I'm gonna snap. I would love to learn how to handle that. I see it coming. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many ways to go on that. You know, because the Bible says that we can get angry. Mm-hmm. It's okay to get angry. It's not okay to dwell on your anger, because anger opens the door for sin. And when you open the door for sin, you're bringing in the devil.
Yeah.
And so understanding the difference, get angry, walk away. And that's some of the things that I was, you know, just studying on is, you know, if you find yourself getting angry, you, one, recognize it, two, cool off.
What's running through my mind right now is the scene from Footloose where he's like angry dancing. When he goes to the barn, he like flicks his cigarette and then does a gymnastics routine and he's dancing, but he's like getting his anger out in a healthy manner. But I don't know why that came to mind.
Yeah, working out is a healthy way to do it if you want to have a more intense workout.
Yeah.
But
you could still hurt yourself though.
Kind of knowing the difference there. How do you get to that cutoff point on your anger? And it's just like, just don't let it fester. I mean,
don't.
So, you know, when I'm saying cool off, studies say that it takes on average, if you are in an angry mood, it takes on average 20 minutes for you to cool down.
Dude.
Well, what are you supposed to do in that 20 minutes? So, you know, take a quick walk or whatever. But the danger is, at the same time, is that 20 minutes is when you're doing that cool off. The reason why the study says 20 minutes is in that 20-minute time frame, that's when you are plotting revenge, figuring out how to take advantage or to get back at somebody in some way, or figuring out your argument. Whereas you need to take that 20 minutes and cool down.
Yeah.
So those kinds of thoughts will dissipate. So whether or not you take a quick walk, or, pray.
Yeah, that's like the most powerful
Find a distraction.
Tool is prayer, right?
Yes.
I find it very humbling to where I struggle for words to say when I'm praying for something that I'm angry about or anxious about, something I'm ashamed of. It could be, and I'm just like, I don't even feel like praying right now because I'm ashamed of my anger or some sort of sinful thing,
Well, I mean,
that's exactly when you should pray.
Right. The most powerful thing we have for us as Christians is prayer.
Yeah.
The most powerful thing.
Right.
It's also one of the most difficult things for us to do.
Yeah.
And I think because we're trying to figure out how to mimic some kind of holy ritual in there, and, blessed are you, Lord our God, and, and all this. And
yeah. Especially me being raised Catholic.
Just tell them what's on your mind.
Right. Yeah. Just have a conversation.
There's plenty of examples where even David in the Psalms, he's literally arguing and complaining and letting out his anger at God. And then toward the end of the Psalm, he starts to calm down and gets back into normal phase. He was able to get it all out there. And that's how God wants us to do. He wants us to be honest with ourselves and to him.
Yeah, because he knows our heart anyway.
Yeah, well, you can't hide from him.
Trying to hide it? Yeah, that's our silly human brains telling us.
Jonah tried to run away from him, and he got dumped into a whale. Yeah. Or a fish. We don't know that it's a whale.
Or like when Adam went and put on the leaf to cover himself. And then God's like, what are you doing?
Right. So, I mean, that's a way to take advantage of anger, right? Number one is naming it, what is it? And then figuring out the root cause, and what's that anger telling you? For instance, I just gave you a couple examples, does it remind you of something from your past? Did you experience a similar hurt based on what, maybe what you say or somebody else might say to me, or just their actions?
Yeah.
Or does it conjure up something you've been avoiding yourself all your life?
Yeah.
So you're getting angry or defensive because someone just broke down and peeked through the veil
or held
of your life by accident.
Up and you're looking at yourself and you're mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's very important to understand that, and then take that and use your cool off period, into that 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And really reflect on that a little bit, because when you're reflecting on that, you're taking away the, I hate you, I'm going to avenge you, I'm going to find a way to sweep the knee, whatever. Instead, you're focused on yourself and how you're going to identify and change that. And, there are useful actions to it. One is identifying it and discussing it with yourself, or maybe a peer or a mentor that you might have, but not right away. Giving yourself the more intense workout that we talked about just now. And then, you might be able to prove someone wrong for overcoming an obstacle, but not from revenge, but from a positive action. So, kind of the buzzword today is corrective criticism.
Corrective criticism.
And
constructive criticism.
Constructive, yeah. You're kind of dancing that thin line there.
Yeah.
And it might be best just to leave it alone for a while.
Yeah, I feel like I appreciate bluntness, and just tell me, don't tap dance around the issue. Just tell me what the issue is, and so I can fix it or work on it. And I tend to take that approach when I'm correcting other people or talking to other people, and not everybody's like me. And that what I feel like is constructive criticism, or I'm just going to tell you the truth, and because it's the best way to do it. No, man, it's not the best way to do it.
Yeah.
That's just, I'm applying my values to somebody else, and that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get angry and frustrated. Like, what are you getting angry about? I'm just trying to help you out.
Right. Well, and again, Proverbs 33. So stirring up anger produces strife. And you know what? I've been with people before that I've sat in meetings in my past where everyone's getting all mad at each other, all because one person decides to say or make statements or call somebody out. And then everyone's mad and angry when the meeting's over, and afterwards the guy will say, man, that felt so good. You know, I don't think we would ever be as successful or productive if we just can't hash things out. And I'm going, it's all contrived. All you did was force people to be angry. That's not a way to make things better. And I'm going, okay.
Yeah, I used to play that game when I was a drill sergeant with the privates. You'd go, like, say, private, we call them always Private Joe Snuffy. That's every drill sergeant uses that. So Private Joe Snuffy, doesn't have his boots polished. And I would say, why did your team members let you down? They didn't check you and correct you to polish your boots. Now I have to do it. I'm punishing everybody. And then you make everybody do push-ups.
Yeah, group punishment.
Then they're all yelling at each other. I'm like, oh, look at this guy over here. He's got his back bent. He's not trying hard enough. He wants you guys to keep doing push-ups. And, oh, look. This guy here's cheating. He's cheating, you guys. So we got to stay down and keep doing push-ups. For me, I'm just working them out, getting exercises, right? And so they can get stronger, but also to work as a team. Because you'll see at the beginning, they're screaming and yelling at each other like, hey, get your back straight, yeah. Then towards the end, they're like, let's go, get your back. You can't make them do enough push-ups. And we would always yell back at our drill sergeant, you can't smoke a rock.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to make me sweat because I'm strong. We can do 1,000 push-ups. Let's go. And they're doing it as a team. That's a very extreme environment. If you try to take that mindset into the workplace as a civilian, no, dude, people are going to quit, or they're going to sue your company.
Right.
Or for creating a hostile work environment. And
I actually thought about the basic training part as I was putting together some of my notes and realized, I'm not even I wasn't going to bring that part up because that kind of screaming and yelling, in my opinion, is not necessarily anger. It's just a way to get you out of your comfort zone and to a different environment.
I was definitely angry sometimes.
Oh, no, I mean, I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've been personally witnessed or part of it.
Yeah, it was definitely
But it's a different kind of anger. I mean, it's
more of a you let me down anger. Like sometimes I'm shocked. I'm like, I can't believe I just witnessed this.
So I always gave that a pass.
That's the first time I've ever seen that. It's because people volunteer and sign a contract with the government to give their life over. It's a different mentality than putting your resume in for a job and I'm here because you pay me and this is how I feed my family. That's a completely different mindset. And I don't think it really applies. But if you try to take that track, like say you're a manager of people or a leader in your company and you're trying to do that kind of team building, good luck.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
No way.
Some people just might quit. Yeah, I'm done.
They might quit, or they're all going to conspire against you and get you fired.
Yeah, that too.
It doesn't work, man. So with anger and harboring resentment or letting things fester, what are some ways that you personally, what are some things you do if you notice it coming up? You're like, man, I've been hating this guy for a long time. Why do I still hate this guy?
Well, just taking that thought process, I actually think about that.
Yeah.
Why don't I like this person anymore? Or why am I mad at that person still after all this time? Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've taken steps in my past where I just reconcile with people.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember a previous job in which another manager and I actually got along great, hung out together, did stuff, and then I had left the company. Mm-hmm. And then about a year later, I went back there because there was a lunch, and I was asked if I wanted to attend with some of the other people. And he was there, and I remember saying hello to him, and he ignored me. And I go, that doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
And then I saw him again later, and I actually called him out. Are you ignoring me on purpose? He goes, I am ignoring you on purpose. And it kept on going.
Dang.
And I never did figure that out. And that kind of wore on me a little bit. I don't know what it was that, I mean, he and I were great all the way up until I left the company. I can't imagine that would make him mad. I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until almost 20 years later, I happened to reach out to him and asked, hey, you want to go to lunch? And he said, sure. And we went to lunch, and we just kind of, reconnected. And, he thanked me for, getting us together. And, and he, in kind of a off-point sort of way, said, I appreciate you reaching out and, putting us back together in a relationship. It's been missed.
Wow.
And he never did tell me why he was mad, and I never did ask him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But right, but we got past it.
Yeah.
And, we both walked away feeling better. Otherwise, it could have been something that might have just been, deep-seated hurt or anger or something, bitterness that's been in there that shouldn't be hiding in our bodies. And, I told you during my cancer fight, that was one of the things that really was the wake-up call when I realized that God was sucking everything out of me, everything that I ever did wrong. He was reminding me of so many things. I was just confessing it all.
Yeah.
And asking forgiveness. And I would reach out to people that I remember hurting or angering in some way in the past, and reaching out and just simply saying, I want to apologize for what I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and without going into details, and, reminding them that they matter, and, I hope you forgive me, but if not, I understand, but I just want you to know that I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And, I felt better.
Sure.
I would hope the other person did.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, prayer definitely helps. And, my prayer life for a long time was non-existent, even though I would claim to be a Christian. And I found recently through prayer that a lot of those things, like you're saying, the resentment or sin in my life or things that I need to apologize for to somebody, they'll come up. And it really is the most powerful tool we have. And the conviction that you feel when you're harboring, really what it is hate in your heart for somebody. It's brutal, man.
Well, yeah, because the Bible says hating's the same as killing.
Yeah.
If you hate somebody, you've already committed murder in your heart. Yeah. So
And
you're already violating one of the 10 Commandments, which says, do not commit murder.
This is a thing that people don't understand about Christians, is that we're still sinners.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not any better than a non-believer. We just happen to be saved by the grace of God, that we accepted that free gift.
Other than that, we strive to improve to
Right.
get more into the likeness of Jesus.
Yes. Yeah. And, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we have listeners who don't know Jesus listening to this podcast right now. And you'll never know a greater love than the love of Jesus, because he gave his life for us. And I think I guess the first thing to do is to recognize that you are a sinner, right? And you can pray to have that awareness and know that you have that need for a Savior. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life.
Mm-hmm. Mine too.
And it's not weak. It's not a cop-out. It's not a way to cover up for how crappy of a person you are.
Well, if you're taking it from that perspective, you're not saved.
Yeah, right. And in fact, you're going to feel probably a little bit worse because you're going to be hit in the face with all the things that you do. You're going to feel that conviction. And this anger, resentment, and harboring all these hateful feelings, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you don't have them. What it is that the blessing is that you get called out on it immediately.
Well, right. I mean, that's what Ephesians 4:31 through 32 said. Get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as in Christ God forgave you.
Yeah, and all of that is impossible without Jesus.
Right. It's a command. I mean, the command is we need to forgive everybody else because God forgave us.
Yeah. And guess what? You're going to be asking for forgiveness because you're going to fail at that because you're human, and it's okay.
I think the challenge with forgiveness is what's not found in the Bible, which is forgive and forget.
Yeah.
Forgive and forget is not in the Bible, and you hear people say, "Oh, just forget about it and just forgive and move on."
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an impossibility.
Yeah.
Because, first off, Matthew 4:14 to 15. For if you forgive men when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their sins, your Father will not forgive you your sins. That's the words of Jesus.
Ouch.
And, if you think about it, forgiveness is actually a conscious decision.
Yes.
You are actually saying, I'm going to forgive this person, or I forgive you.
Yeah, that's the first step. You have to make that decision.
Yeah. And the thing about that, the beauty of it is that it's a command of God. So when we're doing that, we are actually obeying God at that moment. Mm-hmm. And that's a bonus. But you can't delete the memory from your heart or whatever the wrong was, because it could have been something as simple as, me saying to you, why can't you remember these words?
Yeah,
like the beginning of the show that we were joking about. Or it could be as something as difficult or as challenging as rape. I mean, what do you do about that? I mean, so, that's really, really hard. I mean,
yeah, that's going to be a long process.
Yes. You're never going to forget that.
Of course not. No.
So, but you have to be able to take that and just act as if the sin had never occurred and live as if I don't remember it. You're going to run into trouble with that.
Yeah, you're kind of bottling up some stuff that needs to be let out.
Yep.
Right?
Right. The difference is that you choose to forgive the offender for the sake of Christ who's in your life.
Yeah.
And then that is a more solid course of action to take. And, if you can work with that, keep moving with it.
Yeah, it's almost selfish in a way where you're doing it, obviously because we're command, right? But it will help you feel better. It'll help you heal.
Yes.
So in that manner, it's a little selfish, I guess, but I think God put that in the Bible for a reason. That's here's how I'm going to help you.
Right.
Follow my commands.
And I will tell you this. I wrote this note here. Is as hard as it is to say, I'm sorry or I forgive, there's a difference when you say, I'm sorry you were offended or I'm sorry you were hurt. Yeah. That's not true forgiveness. No. You need to change the way that's said.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I offended you, or I'm sorry I hurt you.
Yeah.
That's forgiveness. You hear these things all the time by politicians.
Yeah.
My apologies, or that you took my comments the wrong way.
Yeah.
No, that's not forgiveness. That's not even an apology.
I like to just leave it at, I apologize for what I said. And I like to use the word apologize. instead of saying I'm sorry. Because I feel like this is a matter-of-fact statement, and I want to be very clear in what I say, because I think people say, if I bump into somebody, oh, I'm sorry, that's a little...
It's the same as saying, excuse me.
Yeah. So I want to look somebody in the eye and be uncomfortable when I say, I apologize for what I said. And you're kind of being very vulnerable, right?
It is.
In that moment, because they could just say, F you, man. And you're like, oh.
Well, and there's your challenge, because if you are on the receiving end of someone saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And what's your response?
Yeah.
I really hope your response is, I forgive you. Don't say, yeah, don't worry about it.
Man.
No, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way you respond. They actually, someone's coming right at you and deliberately saying, I'm sorry for what I did.
Mm.
The best thing you can do is say, I forgive you.
Yeah. I
Or
actually try
it's okay.
Like, I don't feel good if somebody's like, it's okay, no big deal. I don't feel good. I'm like, oh, well, this is not done yet. Did I not apologize hard enough? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, because we're all witnesses of it. We've done it ourselves, even. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I've asked my wife before, do you forgive me? Or are you, like, because I don't feel good about this still. Do you forget? And I kind of make her say it. Yes, I forgive you. Hopefully she means it.
But, I mean, it's not easy.
No, man. It's because you have pride and ego and machismo and all that stuff inside of us that we're like, screw that guy. What is he so angry about? That was no big deal. And, yeah, it was no big deal to me because I'm a jerk, and he's not. And it offended him. So I need to do some soul searching and apologize.
Yeah. Well, and wearing on your anger, it actually hurts your health. It impacts your health.
Literally, yeah.
And then, again, the Bible's wonderful, because there's something about everything we could ever talk about our whole lives.
Sure.
Right here, Ephesians 4:26. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Mm. Well, all right. So, in your anger, do not sin. Again, we already said it's okay to get angry, just don't sin as a result.
Yeah.
In other words, don't harbor the anger. Don't react in such a way that you're responding, versus like as in you're throwing out hurtful words, or you throw a punch, or worse. Yeah. We've seen worse.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing your French fries back at the server at McDonald's who has no idea why you're getting mad at me.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think every marriage counselor probably has said, don't go to bed angry in marriage.
Yeah. Well, why is that? Well, first off, the easy thing is, can you sleep when you're mad?
No.
No, you're all worked up, so you're losing sleep.
Yeah.
Your blood pressure, your heart rate's going up. And you know what? If you're harboring that sin up to the point of bed and while the sun goes down, I'm equating that with it's suddenly getting dark outside and nothing good happens in the dark. Mm. So you really need to put a stop to whatever it is that you're dwelling on.
For real. Yeah, I think... Is that Emma? Caitlin's not here.
I'm mad.
Let's pause. Alrighty, little break there.
Right.
Thought my toddler was roaming around upstairs all alone.
Yeah, a little bit of transparency. We don't sit in a studio.
No.
We sit in your basement.
Just in my basement.
Whatever's going on upstairs in your home is going on. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? We're living life.
That's right. It's great, man.
I got to forgive you every week. So, getting on topic a little bit, we're drinking this bourbon called Redemption, and that's really why we dug it out, because the topic was going to be on anger and bitterness, how to deal with it, recognizing it, and you know what? But what about redemption itself? The word itself, redemption. So the word itself for redemption is an act of atoning for guilt, a fault, or a mistake. And so, if you're redeeming yourself in some way, you're making an atonement for something you did wrong,
Yeah.
right? So it's a little bit beyond forgiveness. Maybe you fixed something that you broke for someone, or you replaced something, or you returned the money. A good example is if you go to the grocery store and they undercharge you for something. Do you just walk out and go, dang, I just got off on Schnucks today? Mm-hmm. Or Kohl's forgot to ring that up. Honestly, especially you Christians out there, you should be walking back in and going, or recognizing it right away and go, you forgot to get the stuff under my car.
Oh, yeah. And that could be a good moment to share the gospel with somebody.
Could be.
What's different about you that you would do this?
Yeah. But that's an immediate example of redemption. And, when you recognize your redemption, you know what it does? It leads to increased gratitude and worship. Because you walk out feeling a little bit better. Yeah. Or you just made that person feel better. Or you might have saved that person their job.
Yeah. For real.
Without knowing it.
Yep.
Could be any of them things. And you know what? Your own redemption should lead you to more easily forgive others for their mistakes.
Yeah.
Because Colossians 3:13 said, forgive as the Lord forgave you.
Easier said than done.
It is.
That's kind of what we've been talking about this whole shows.
But you know what? We need to be, more and more like,
like Jesus, honestly. Right?
Yes.
That is the point.
I was thinking of the TV show that I used to watch as a kid. It's played by Tom Hanks. Mr.
Is that the one where they dress like women?
No.
That's Tom Hanks.
Give me a break. No, he played the Mr. Rogers. Sorry.
Oh,
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Everything we do should be like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, really. It gets that simple. You wake up in the morning and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's what we should be singing every day. Or just, enjoying the moment.
Yeah, live life instead of preparing to live life, like we were talked about a few shows ago, right?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Redemption is certainly recognizable by others. And we become a channel of hope, love, and sacrificial service.
For
because
sure.
People recognize the change in you. They're going to come to you and go, Kevin, I want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know a little bit more. Can you tell me how you're dealing? How is it that you're able to deal with this so well?
Yeah, like you're talking about meetings in past companies you work for. You walk out of the meeting and people are like, "Dude, how did you keep your head? Like, how come you're not like you just got verbally abused in front of all these people and you didn't fight back or didn't like, well, everybody has a bad day or whatever whatever it is,
right?
Yeah, keep a cool head,
Right. And you could go as crazy as Dwight Eisenhower. He said, never waste a minute thinking about people you don't like.
Yeah. You probably should spend some time thinking about people you don't like and why don't I like this person? Is it me? Is it them? What's the disconnect? That type of stuff.
It's worth reconciliation. Even if you and whoever it is that you have this bad past or the bad moment, even if you two would never speak again, take the time to reconcile and move on.
Dude, one of the greatest things recently in my life is reconciling with my dad. I had so much anger towards him and so much resentment for my entire life that I was like wishing he would die. It was bad. And he had no idea. He didn't have an idea that he did anything wrong to me. And honestly, he's just a man who was doing the best he could. And I took it personally. And he didn't think he was doing anything wrong to me or, whatever. And I believe it, and I've told both my parents this, that God led me back here to Missouri for a reason, and that is to be closer to my parents physically and emotionally. And my dad, he doesn't know I was so angry with him for all these years. He doesn't know because I never said anything to him. But in my heart, I forgave him. And I prayed to God to help me forgive him for my perceived wrong, what I perceived as an imperfect father, right? And with his illnesses, his dementia and Parkinson's and cancer and the stuff that is going on with him now, it really hit me hard that I'm no different than him. We're all humans, and we're all imperfect, and we all do things to other people, whether we know it or not, that will cause them to be angry with us and harbor resentment towards us. And if I'm no different than this man, why do I have this hate in my heart for him? Which is really what it was. And it's horrible to have that feeling towards your father. And, it was so bad. Like, I remember he hugged me for the first time, which I thought was like, this is the first time in my life he hugged me when it was after we moved to South Carolina, and we came home for a family visit and had my sons and my wife, and he gave me a hug on the porch when we were leaving, go back to South Carolina. And it was so awkward and weird to me to have physical contact with my father like that. Now, when I see him, I put my hands on his shoulder, I hug him, I hold his hand, and there's love there. And I think it's always been there. It was me who was holding it back. It was my hateful resentment towards the man. And he had no idea. And I wasted years and years. And thank God he led me back here to reconnect and reconcile with my father, because I can't imagine my dad dying and me not being able to forgive him while he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've never said, Dad, I forgive you to him, because honestly, he didn't do anything wrong. It was just me, my stubborn, ignorant self that built this monster. And so I thank God for that. And I pray that anybody listening to this, if you have any resentment in your heart for somebody, that you can forgive them, even if it's perceived, even if you find out, whoa, I was wrong. I hope you've had that realization like I did. It's great. And now, the thing I'm worried about now is my dad's salvation. That I pray to God to give me a moment that I can share the gospel with him. Like, bring him back just for 10 minutes so we can have a conversation, and that he's present to hear this, and that he can choose Jesus. That's what I'm praying for now. So if anybody else is a prayerful person, pray for that as well for me. I would appreciate that.
And it's such a relief.
It is.
When you
man, it's
reach
like I
that level.
Drop my rucksack, my 100-pound rucksack.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm floating on air.
You're no longer carrying the weight.
It's insane. And my personality just like, you idiot, why didn't you do this years ago? Whoa. Stop attacking yourself, man. That's like the hardest person to forgive is yourself.
It is.
Right? And I struggle with that every day. And it brings me to my knees, though. So I'm thankful for it. Just kind of like I'm thankful for my anxiety, because I run to God when I'm anxious. So I'm thankful for it, but it's also a burden, at the same time. Yeah, I just pray that people we'll get something out of this podcast today. I'm glad we had this conversation, Kevin. And I think, we're coming up. We're not even at an hour yet. And we got a lot packed into this.
We said a lot.
50-something minutes.
Yep. That's all right.
Do you have anything else to add to it? I know I kind of dominated the conversation right there at the end, but
no, that's okay.
I had to get it out. It felt good to say that out loud, actually.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. I mean, it just, recently I've been doing a lot working on my anger, a lot, and then I had this one moment yesterday that just kind of got out of control for myself.
Yeah.
And, I hide it really well. I mean, there's nobody in my family that even recognized anything that was going on. I do really well with it.
Man, I could tell.
Because it's in my car.
The last few days, I could tell you were on edge a little bit, that you were frustrated or something.
Well, we spend more time together than we do at home.
Yeah.
Because just our work lifestyle. But,
yeah.
I mean, I've been working really hard to where it's been noticeable, other people getting all worked up or upset about things. And I'm going, all right, yeah, I'll take care of it. Yep, all right, yeah, no big deal. And they're going, what? They're getting mad at me because I'm not mad.
Yeah.
And I'm going, why should I be mad? I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
It's being corrected. So what do you want me to be angry about?
Yeah, and a lot of it's like, dude, this is just work. This is not my life. Like, I just do this. I wouldn't be here if you didn't pay me.
Well, it can be personal, too.
Sure.
Things just happen.
Yeah.
That's just life. So why do I have to dwell on it and get myself worked up? I'm focusing on things I don't need to focus on.
Yeah.
I corrected the course. I made a corrective action. I solved the problem. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And just keep on going. And people are getting all upset.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. You can be all upset. I'm happy as a clam.
You can't unspill the milk. The milk is spilled.
Right.
Clean it up and move on. That was thumbs up with my children. I took that literally. Don't cry over spilled milk, because they would knock their plate over, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's clean up." Like, to be cheerful about it. Like, stuff happens, man. Here's how you deal with it. You clean up the mess, and then you get you some more milk, and we move on. Something popped into my mind,
well,
too.
You're a nicer dad than I ever was. Sorry, kids.
No, so as Christians, can this forgiveness mindset that we're supposed to have, can it become a point of pride and become sinful in itself?
Oh, I think so.
That's
kind of become hypocritical even.
Definitely a two-edged sword, right? Double-edged sword, where you could feel this holier than thou. I am redeemed, and I know the way, and then you become a hypocrite, man, because 5 minutes later you're cussing somebody out at 7-Eleven or whatever, and then so that's something that I struggle with too, man. It's like,
I forgave you. How come you don't like me?
Yeah.
Well, because the way you're acting right now.
Right. Yeah, or you could be like, I can't understand why you're not forgiving me.
You're not being genuine.
I'm a forgiving person. You should forgive me, but as I forgive everybody else. Like, dude, you're not Jesus. Calm down.
Yeah, you have to understand. You got to be real. People can see right through your fakeness.
Yeah.
Like there's no tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, something I talked to Caitlin about a lot, too, is my Aunt Dot told me one day, you shouldn't be surprised at what non-believers do or say. You should be more surprised at what believers don't do or don't say. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty profound.
Yeah. I forget what book of the Bible it is, but there's a verse in there where it says, oh, you believe in God? Demons believe in God.
That's
and
true.
Tremble.
Well, they know he's real. That's what it is. Like,
well, that's what it is.
Same thing.
And you're acting like it's nothing.
Right.
Even the demons know he's real.
Yeah.
And tremble. And you just go about and do your own thing.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe you need to tremble a little bit more.
That's why you're going to be spit out like lukewarm milk.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And but having that knowledge, you can have knowledge of the Bible, knowledge of the Scripture, all that sort of stuff.
It can make a difference.
Doesn't matter, man. You have to really humble yourself before God, and it is not easy.
No.
It is not, and it's a daily struggle. Just like Jesus said, pick up your cross and follow me.
Although it should be easy, because Jesus says, you know what, my burden is light.
Well, that's why we're supposed to put it all in him, right? Because
Exactly.
that's make it it's his burden. And us as humans, we tend to put it all in our backpack. And then we're like, oh,
Yep.
I'm suffering. This is the worst, and I hate everybody. And that's not what you're supposed to do, man.
Yep.
But that's the struggle. It's a constant battle.
But you know what? Again, people can tell when you're genuine.
Yes, I believe so. Yep.
And
I have a pretty good radar for it.
yeah.
That's why my circle of friends is small.
There's some truth in that.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But I'm friendly to everybody. I try to be friendly to everybody, I should say. I am not friendly to everybody, but I try to be.
I'll give you a good example. You want to make someone's day? Right. I did this twice today.
Okay.
Just going shopping, walking into Walgreens, walking into Schnucks, get up, my turn. And, they always say, how you doing? Find everything you needed, whatever.
Yeah.
And I sure did, Carla. Appreciate you asking.
Use their name.
Use their name.
Yeah.
People love to hear their names.
Yeah, because it's you're human. You're a person. Oh, he recognizes I'm a real person.
Yes.
And not just somebody in a blue vest.
And it completely, their eyes just open up. I have never seen anybody completely ignore the fact that I've said their name.
Yeah. That's actually an effective sales technique, too, is to like use somebody's name while you're trying to sell something to them, because it does something psychologically to people. I think spiritually, really. So hopefully you're selling good products if you use that technique. But yeah, that's a very real thing. You'll see the light in their eyes.
And then they always wish you the best. This happened 2 weeks ago. I was at Costco. It actually caught me off guard. Every time you walk out of Costco, you got the same two women standing there checking your receipt.
Yeah.
Have a good day, kind of thing. And the day I was there, I walk up. There was a woman and there's a man. And the man, I was on the man line. There wasn't much left, and so I'm over there. And not because he's a man, but I just happened to be there. It was the shortest line.
Yeah.
My turn. I hand him the receipt, and just a quick chat. Hey, have a great day, kind of deal. And out of nowhere, he puts his hand on my shoulder, leans in close, and goes, "Have a blessed day in Jesus." And said it quietly, and I went, "Thank you, Jesus. You do the same, dude."
Wow.
Appreciate those words. And I have never heard that before, and that just come out of nowhere, and he was quiet about it. Like, I don't want anybody to know. But he said it, and that just made my whole afternoon.
God bless that guy.
Made my whole afternoon.
That's awesome. I feel good today, man. I was feeling kind of down on myself before this. I was really beating myself up this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Dude, I just...
The show or just your day? Because you had the outburst last night and that you mentioned.
Had the outburst, the Blues lost. I drank too much. Nothing good happens after dark type of thing. And... I woke up just feeling like a terrible person today.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm going to work. I had to work out this Saturday. It was my day to work, half day. And I thought, I need to eat something. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy donuts for everybody. So I went and got some donuts.
Oh, cool.
And I got a kolache. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I go, and it made me feel better to give donuts to people. Because, nobody likes to work Saturdays. It sucks. So I was like, I'm going to try to be a little bit better. And I was like, had some friendly banter on the radio with folks talking about, stuff and joking around. And I worked my butt off today, directing traffic and talking to greeting customers. It was great, petting dogs. And it just made me like, dude, you're human. You need to forgive yourself. The fact, like, you recognize what's going on. Forgive yourself. Obviously, ask God for forgiveness first, and all that stuff. But let's flip the page here. It's a new day. You have an opportunity. Thank you, God, for letting me recognize in the areas that I failed. I appreciate that. And I am forgiven. Before I even ask, I know I'm forgiven.
Well, you brought up a key point that we never even mentioned this entire podcast, which is forgive yourself.
Yeah. Dude, it's so hard.
You've made mistakes. You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah. Forgive. Don't forget.
Right. You're not going to forget, but forgive yourself and move on.
But put it in the bank of experiences like, oh, okay, next time I'm in this situation, I know how to handle this.
You're growing in wisdom.
Ooh. It's hard, man. It's hurtful. It's painful.
Very painful.
But yeah.
But you know what?
You can't grow without
the greater
pain.
the pain, the more you know God.
Yeah.
Truly.
Oof. But sometimes I'm like, hey, can we ease off on the pain a little bit, God?
Oh yeah.
I wish I wasn't so self-destructive sometimes. Like, can we just chill a bit?
Yes.
But I don't have it that bad, man.
It's a challenge.
That's the other thing. You have to keep perspective.
Yeah.
We live in the greatest country on the face of the earth in the history of the human kind. Like, it ain't that bad.
And no matter the environment, we can make our environment much better than what it is.
Yeah.
Just by our attitudes.
For real. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you have clothes to put on today? Did you eat some food?
Mm-hmm.
It might not have been a steak or a lobster.
Right.
But you ate.
Yeah.
And are you sick today? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to get some money for your needs, not your wants or desires?
Right.
Are you covering your needs?
Yep.
Because that's what it's all about.
That's it, man. That's it.
And did you thank somebody? Did you forgive someone? Did you help someone?
Well, that's the thing too, is like, if you, like, whatever you want for yourself, give it to other people.
Yes.
It's going to come back on you, and that's not like some kind of believe, achieve, whatever manifestation BS.
Right. No.
It's a real thing, man. You should be putting out what you want, I think. And I don't know if that's biblical or not, but we obviously should. I think we're called to be examples of Christ, and that's all like an impossible task. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try and strive for it every day. So, thank you, God, for this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for you, Kevin, even though you say I suck.
Your face is ugly.
I know that. That's why we don't do video podcasts.
Well, nobody wants to see half my face,
dude,
so
if anybody who looks at my face, you could tell I'm an angry man. Just
all day long.
The lines on my face, I can't hide it.
You have that weird, heavy thing right above your eyebrows. Like your skull sticks out right there.
Yeah, Cro-Magnon. I'm part caveman. All right.
Where if people look at me on the left side of my face, Kevin, why are you so mad? You're looking at the dead side of my face. Everything's drooping over there. Look at the right side, dummy. Anyway, so we're down to it. We're enjoying this show on anger and redemption.
Yeah.
And we're drinking some Redemption bourbon and a cognac cask.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you rate this Redemption bourbon whiskey? It's not a bourbon; it's a bourbon whiskey.
I am teetering between 2 and 3 stars. I'm enjoying it, but I am just not a fan of the bourbons that are aged or finished in wine or cognac.
Gotcha.
It gives it a little bit of too much sweetness to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think. So if I was still doing half ratings, I would say 2.5. But I'll go 3 because I'm feeling gracious today.
Okay. I like it, but I gave it 2 stars.
2.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, I
It's
struggle.
just not something I'm going to pull off the shelf and drink on a
No.
normal basis.
I think this is a cocktail bourbon.
I would agree with you.
I think so. So I'm going to 2 stars.
Cocktail whiskey,
Talked myself
bourbon
into it.
whiskey,
Yeah, this is a cocktail bourbon whiskey.
not a classic bourbon.
No.
And by the way, anything that's finished, for all you folks listening, that even if it is a classic bourbon, the way it's supposed to be manufactured in the state of Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
it is no longer a bourbon if you age it or finish it in a different barrel.
That's right. So Bardstown, what the heck are you doing messing around with this? Bardstown is usually a straight bourbon type of establishment, right?
I don't know. So I know on the rye side with these guys, they were trying to, or are continuously working to reestablish the traditions of American whiskey, which was
Rye.
high rye.
Yeah.
And that rye whiskey. So, you know what? I don't fault them.
No.
It's not bad at all.
We should try Redemption Rye on the show. We haven't done that yet. I wonder how good that is.
Yeah, we'll put that on our list of the other 800 we have lined up right now.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. Welcome to our new listener from Hesse, Germany, Deutschland,
Oh, and California.
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 Ooh. Man, we're everywhere.
I think the California guy might have popped on because of the stuff we did last week,
Oh, really?
playing the music.
Oh, okay.
Maybe somebody in California went, oh, hey, wait a minute. I don't know that you can play that
Yeah.
song that belongs to me.
Right. Eric Clapton. Not naming names.
Right, we're not going to. But we got permission. We were told we could publish.
Yep.
So,
Please reach out to us. If you're outside the United States or not in Missouri, we want to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook, the Headspace and Tasting Podcast. You can email us at showmemk@gmail.com. And that's like the Show Me State.
You can find us on YouTube at the Headspace and Tasting Podcast.
That's right.
Amazon Music.
Leave comments, please. We really want to hear from you. We reply to the comments, and we appreciate them, especially our number one fan.
Yeah, and by the way, to the number one fan to say tuna casserole for the win, you need mental help.
See, she's the number one fan for a reason. The best.
No.
You got to come over and have tuna casserole. Come on. It is the best, dude.
It is, just not cold and congealed.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. Try
It's
it.
disgusting.
No, you haven't had my tuna casserole.
It doesn't matter.
You're a hater. You need to
I
redeem yourself from that comment.
I hate.
Thank you very much for listening, folks. We appreciate everybody who clicks on and listens, even if it's for 30 minutes or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
If you get a little snippet of something that, you enjoy, great.
yeah, we're
glad
glad
we said it.
because it brings joy to us. This is a passion project. This is a fun hobby that we do. We don't make any money from this. And
Yeah, this show is not monetized in any way. So,
No.
you know what? That's why we say what we say and do what we do.
Yeah. If you have a suggestion for a show topic you want us to touch on, or if you have a story to tell, you want to come on the show, or a bourbon suggestion, email us at showmemk@gmail.com. We'd love to hear it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Peace out, brothers.